Think President Bashar al-Assad from Syria will continue to fire at Israeli jets, will continue to try and escalate things further, knowing now perhaps he's more entrenched in power and Iran has his back?
I think he'll continue to tread carefully. It seems people made different assessments, and there's a sense that perhaps the Assad regime is growing in confidence in terms of its ability to really step up the fight against Islamic State. They're seeing really gains there. Of course, Raqqa being recaptured, other territories, that organization under pressure, and that has freed up a lot of resources for the Syrian president.
Do you agree with that assessment? That's something I've heard as well, that this perhaps the decision to fire now is a sign that Assad feels more entrenched.
I get that sense as well, that he feels that he has first of all, he's seen real gains on the battlefield. He has that growing confidence coming from Iranian support. The top Iranian military officer was in Syria this week, backing up those Syrian regime positions that Israel cannot violate, or supposedly cannot violate, Syrian territory, no matter what security concerns it has. Israel maintaining its position, of course. There was some apprehension about whether we would see a response. It was a few hours from the time of the projectile landing on the Israeli side of the Golan Heights until we saw military response from Israel. Usually there is one when this happens, even if it's not intentional. This kind of spillover usually does eventually lead to some sort of IDF response, and indeed one did come eventually. There may have been somewhat of a dilemma in terms of maybe an Israeli desire to not ratchet up the pressure too high, considering the events earlier this week, but that did go without.